Hello, everyone, and welcome to TGB Podcast. My name is Josh Friesen, and I'm here with my good friend and co-creator of our channel, The Game Base, Andrew Bird. Today, we will be chatting a bit about our channel, what we intend to do with it, and where we hope to go with it. First off, though, we'll kind of introduce ourselves. Obviously, my name is Josh Friesen. You know, I live here in British Columbia, Canada, have my entire life. My role in the game base, it's kind of a tough position. I kind of just yell at people, tell them where to be, kind of schedule people. That's essentially what I try to do. And obviously I play and show up in a few videos here and there. I don't know what else to say. Probably my favorite type of tabletop game is obviously like your RPG stuff, like your Pathfinders, your classic D&Ds and stuff. It's a little about me, but about you, Andrew?
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm the co-creator of TGB. I've never called it TGB, by the way.
TGB,
I really liked your intro, TGB.
Yeah, I like it, right? That's good.
Smooth. I'm the creative center. No, I'm not. I don't even know what my role is. You know, honestly, Josh is the brains behind this thing, and he's sort of been the pushing motion behind the game base so far. All I was the living room that we came up with the idea. Really, I provided the living room. We were hanging out one night, and after a game of D&D, and Josh was sharing some dreams of doing something with podcasting or streaming, and it just developed a discussion of, we could actually do live Dungeons and Dragons recordings, but throw it on YouTube. I've already got a channel, which we're not using anymore, but I had a channel set up, and I already had the whole partnership with YouTube thing from when I used to do parkour back in my high school years. And yeah. Don't look that up. It's not good for anybody. So, I mean, really all I've brought to this table really is just maybe the motivation for Josh to actually follow through on what he's always wanted to do with the computer stuff, with the
sure, but I think it goes both ways though too. It's not something that I'd ever do on my own, right? Mm-hmm. It's something that I've thought about, and you've said in the past that you've thought about, and it was kind of fun just converging. We'd even hung out for a long time, never even mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how it came up one night.
I don't know.
And we just started talking about it, and we're like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, let's make it happen.
Well, yeah. Why are we sitting there just talking about it when we could actually do it? No, we said we could actually do it. I can't believe we've gotten to the point where we have like actual lighting. You can't see it on the camera here, but I mean, we've got nice lighting now. I gotta say, that's a big improvement.
We've invested in light.
And an actual camera, too, mind you. A camera that actually records in, like, high-end. There was some interesting attempts. Josh just about died. Like, there was probably a camera ready to it was posed to fall.
Yeah, it was poised to crush my skull at any given moment. Which would have been horrible, but would have made a fantastic video.
Good blooper reel. Good blooper reel.
Yeah. My death is a good blooper reel. I appreciate that one. That's good. Yeah, and so I guess we chatted for a while, and I guess over the next week or so we didn't really chat about it, and then finally we came back and talked, and we're just like, hey, it's something that I think I want to do, and you're like, I think it's something I want to do too, and we started talking and brainstorming and figuring out names and stuff, and that's kind of how the game base was created. Was literally one night after playing D&D, I think.
Yeah.
I hung around, just overstayed my welcome, and I was like, hey, so...
you never overstay your welcome. You're a pleasure to have around.
Fantastic. I'll remember that for the future. But yeah, no, we just kind of stuck around and just chatted, and that's kind of how we came to where we want to be. The channel, though, we chatted for a while about what we kind of wanted it to be about, what we wanted... what we wanted the viewers as well as ourselves to get out of it, I think, would be the biggest thing, right? It was a kind of a passion project, which is something kind of fun to do, but you gotta think too, you always want something like that to succeed, right? So we sat down and we chatted back and forth about what we wanted the viewers get out of it. And my big thing was entertainment, right? So I thought, what would be the most entertaining thing to watch? What would be a neat thing to watch? And the first thing, obviously, that came to my mind, it was something we were both passionate about, was, doing D&D online and not finding a lack thereof.
And having a live cast of it. Like, not like an actual video footage. There's a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of verbal. The only time you ever really see the videos of it was like I would watch them once a year. You know, the
PAX stuff.
The PAX stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and you'd watch that and you'd be like, that's awesome. I want to watch that like every week.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really exist in any quality anywhere else. I mean, there's some attempts and stuff, but no one's really put in that financial backing and that high level of effort into making it a show. Mm-hmm. And I think that's sort of what we wanted to get to.
To try it, yeah. You know, it's
for sure.
Literally jumping in this with, you know, 2 feet first. We
and
have
no experience and no stuff.
No experience, no knowledge, and just going for it and just, you know, giving it our best shot. But, you know, I think...
Using Walmart lamps for lighting.
Seriously.
That was clever.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
No, it was horrible. Won't even talk about that. Which, by the way, if you've seen our 3 videos, the Walmart lamps were from videos that we haven't even posted.
Yes.
Because they were worse than what is currently on the channel.
That's true. Yeah.
Just think about that for a moment. Take a moment to yourself. Breathe. It's okay.
We've improved since then. The lighting is incredible now.
We have.
One day you'll all see it.
Hopefully.
One day we'll post more videos.
Yeah, but like I said, my goal was entertainment, was to bring fun to the table. You know, you watch those PAX videos. Not to say, you know, we're not trying to compete with those PAX videos, because you have some incredibly talented and creative people on there.
Absolutely agree.
You cannot even compete, but just to bring fun, right? Mm-hmm. Bring something to entertain you, something you can just watch and kind of mess around with. I know, and Andrew, though, was talking about maybe a different kind of style. He was thinking the channel could be something more about, you know, knowledge or information.
Well, a big part of the game to me, I mean, maybe it's just my setting. I work at a game store, and prior to that, I worked with youth and young people, and so there's a huge aspect of teaching in that setting. You know, game store, a huge part of what I do is I run demos and I teach and I explain and I answer all the hard questions that all the people come and ask me, and I'm constantly browsing through forums and through ruling discussions and whatever else and erratas. None of erratas I've read for a variety of games. Ridiculous. And I do all this because people have questions about the games they play and they want the answers. Mm-hmm. And I thought a huge part of what we could do with the game base, and I hope this still, you know, it's part of my goal as we move forward, is to have teaching segments, areas where I can take opportunities to answer questions that viewers might have, to sort of challenge some of the new concepts that are coming out in games. Like Wizards of the Coast right now is doing a really cool release where they're doing some sort of alpha sort of release stuff. They just did one for Eberron. Mm-hmm. Unearthed Arcana PDF. And it's just like an alpha source of Eberron materials. It's phenomenal.
It's very cool.
Took a read through. It's got some really cool stuff. And being able to talk about that kind of stuff, about how that can affect your homebrew, how to rule in some of the stuff that doesn't quite seem like it's going to balance yet. How do you mesh that? How do you create a world that really lends itself to that Eberron setting using 5th edition rule sets?
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of stuff. And answering some of the tough questions. I had a player today asking me about how do familiars work in a game. Mm-hmm. Can you strap a familiar with a bunch of alchemist fire, use a swooping attack to suicide bomb without taking any opportunity attacks using your familiar, and then just resummon it? And I'm like, I'd have to read up on that. But exploring these things and these opportunities and these mm-hmm. questions, mm-hmm. I think that'd be a really cool direction to go in. And I think one of the plans will be for me to do that a bit through a podcast similar to this. Because I think that's something that people look to. You know, do we have opinions? Do we have answers on some of the challenging things? And it could be tricky. So that's something I'd love to get more involved in. That's something I want to see come out of the channel. And I love entertainment. I'm all for entertainment. And
yeah,
in the end, doing a video of live D&D players at a table, it's 100% entertainment.
That's all it is. Yeah.
But the side stuff can definitely be, you know, outside of that. Once a week we might release a live D&D, or even 2 times a week, mm-hmm. if we can get the footage going.
Yeah, for sure.
But in between that, you know, my dream is to have a DM's corner or DM segment of some mm-hmm. kind where I can sit down and say, you know, here's how I prep, or, you know, in that last episode that you watched, there was this moment, you know, where some guy tried to jump through a window and I totally screwed him over by, you know, making him make 1 billion different dex checks to get through a window. I could have just sent him through the window. You know, is that the wrong move as a DM or not?
Yeah.
In the moment, how do you rule these things when players want to be creative?
Yeah.
And do something that you're not expecting as a DM?
It's always tough, yeah.
How do you roll with that? And that's the kind of stuff you can do in these other segments. And that's where my passion is for this channel. I love the entertainment. I want to see
yeah.
stuff happen. My passion for it is really getting people asking questions, and my opportunities to share my thoughts on those questions and maybe create better gaming experience everywhere instead of just at our place,
No, totally, definitely. We'll kind of jump right into it then. We'll kind of talk about the shows we want to create, I guess, on our channel, right? So we got Andrew's talking about, obviously he kind of basically just explained it, but he wants to kind of make a DM's corner type of thing and go from there and kind of figure out what you want to do with that. And he, obviously just explained all that information, what he wants to do there, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah. I totally jumped the gun on that. That's cool.
Totally cool. Don't even worry about
We're
it.
on 0.8 now.
Yeah. Just skipped it all the time. We'll just stop right here.
Yeah.
The other thing we want to do, obviously, is our D&D. That's kind of what I would call it, kind of our flagship. Our flagship.
Yeah, I think that should be the core of the channel
core
for now.
Yeah, it's for now is our D&D, our D&D channel. But we'll kind of go into more detail about that. And the other channel we were looking at is another person kind of involved, not really in a creation aspect, but I guess sort of anyway. Is Matt thinking about doing some stuff with modeling? But we'll talk about that again.
Yeah, I mean, just to clarify there's a few of us in the channel. I mean, I'm going to back us right back to point one here.
For sure, yeah.
There's a few of us involved in this channel. Right now, it's mostly just Josh and I. Like I said, we designed this in the living room. We came up with this together, and we've sort of been the driving force behind it and been bringing... We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different players come through, record with us for a night, and then not come back the next time, just because we just didn't keep that player. There's a number of players we've done that with, a number of people. Josh and I have been sort of the foundation. Where we're at now, however, is we've got guys like Matt, who's he's the owner of the game store I work at, and he's a phenomenal artist, phenomenal when it comes to modeling and miniature work and that kind of stuff, and he's got years and years and years of experience doing it, and he's volunteered to put in a channel or segment that he's going to be showing that modeling and that painting, and we're hoping to do more stuff like that where we might find people who connect with us somewhere and go, I'm really passionate about this, and we can go, well, we have an opening for a segment in that area if it relates to our goals, and we haven't explored that fully. I mean, there's lots of opportunities there.
We're just kind of starting, and there's no reason that we won't pull in more people. Even look at editing stuff,
Yeah, Mike is another editor.
Yeah, we got Mike who's doing basically all our editing right now. Yeah. He's kind of an unseen hero behind the scenes.
He stays off the screen a lot. Yeah,
but we have no idea. Originally, I was going to edit it or Andrew was going to edit it, and we were both sitting down just looking at it dauntingly, thinking how, where, who, what, why.
I was going to use Windows Movie Maker
to edit. That was basically our plan. And then...
Because I have a crap computer and no programs.
Exactly. And then Mike, I guess, finally... I just chatting with Mike, a guy, one of our editor, chatting with him, and he kind of said, I said, hey, do you know how to do this? He's like, yeah, I've done a little bit. I'm like, a little bit's more than us. Do you want to be involved? And he's like, yeah, totally. I'm like, okay, great. And we've done that a little bit. We've taken some people in, and, some people have left, some people have come, just kind of trying to figure out what really meshes. Another big person in here is obviously Jeff. Jeff's been a big role. You'll see him in our actual D&D episodes. You'll see him. He does a lot of stuff. He's mostly a I don't know what you would call it, like a face to the channel. He's more in the content more so than creating the content is what I would say. Well,
he's an extremely creative person.
Incredibly creative.
And a loud personality. Makes a great guy to have on camera.
100%.
I'm an organizer. I'm not the best loud personality out there.
Yeah.
I'm a good organizer. You're a genius when it comes to all this, pretty much everything. You know as much as Google, basically. That's how I view it. I'm like, Josh knows Google.
Yeah.
We need to know anything. Josh usually finds the answer within a day or two. And, and I can definitely see Jeff being a lot of that energy.
Yeah, and he's great, and he's helped out a lot, even just when me and Andrew are stuck on an idea, just kind of bouncing it back and forth with Jeff. He's really strong that way. And those are kind of like our core people in the show. We'll kind of go into more detail, I guess, about the shows. Andrew discussed his DM thing, where he wants his little DM's corner, he wants to talk about DMing. Do you want to say any more? Are you pretty good?
Yeah, no, I don't know where I'm going to go with that yet. I think we're going to do it as a podcast. I mean, I'm not going to be able to physically be in our recording area.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah,
So I think I'm gonna do it more as a podcast. I'm gonna get a decent mic at some point, and I'll start doing some recording.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to do some of that as podcast. And I really want, what I'm really looking for is viewer interaction.
Yeah.
I really want to see through our Facebook page or through wherever. Some people posting up and saying, here's something we've come up against in our games, or here's something we were wondering about, or here's a question we have, and I can hopefully sort of directly respond to a lot of those kind of things.
For sure.
Not to say that I'm the all-knowing. I'm no way am I associated with any game creating, company.
Yeah.
It's completely just me. But like I said, I'm an organizer. I'm a guy who will read everything and organize some thoughts and organize my games and my plans, and I can give a decent response, and hopefully that's something people would value.
No, for sure.
I mean, to most people, I'm nothing, but perhaps my opinion will value.
Wow, self-esteem fail. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Like I
have nothing. Yeah.
You don't know me from dude who gives you burger at Wendy's. I mean, I'm just some guy on the internet. But I'm a guy with who's maybe played a lot of games, and I've worked at a game store for 2 years, and I've been playing games like my whole life. I love games. So there's a lot I think I can offer in that area, and I'd love to hear some people's questions and see how we can tackle them and how we might face those, right?
For sure. That's another thing you do, too, is Andrew deals with all of our social media. So anything social media-wise...
I do have a job.
Yeah, there you go. I'm helping. I looked at social media, and I didn't even want to touch it, honestly. I got, my own little Facebook, and whoop-de-doo, got my little Facebook, but I don't even use it that much. So I basically just thrust it on Andrew. I'm like, Andrew, this is what you get to do. Here, go. And, you've taken it and you've run with it.
Well, it's a lot of work to be regularly on. I mean, the one thing I haven't done is I'm never on Twitter. I've never been on Twitter in my life.
Nor have I.
But we have a game-based Twitter page.
We have one, yeah. And so all that will be...
So I'm going to have to learn Twitter. But, the Facebook right now is the best way to sort of see what we've got going on. I post up there regularly. Semi-regularly. I mean, there's a 3-month dead spot there.
Yeah, we'll chat about that. Yeah.
But so I try to post up there at least once a week and sort of let people know what's going on with our plans and our recording and stuff. Back when we first started recording, I even did some little cell phone recordings and put those up on the page as little teasers and stuff. So there's lots we can do there, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Then we got Matt's channel. Not his channel, I would say.
His segment.
His segment, yeah. He's doing a modeling thing. I approached Matt, who is one of the few people that I know that is really proficient at modeling and stuff. And I went up...
Sorry.
Whatever.
It's something all very professional.
Yeah. I went up to him and chatted with him, and I said, how would you feel about maybe... I don't know if you approached him, I approached him. Anyways, we approached him in general, and we said...
definitely.
We said, what do you think about doing maybe a modeling thing? And he's like, yeah, totally. What are you thinking for it? And I said... present these videos like I'm presenting it to me. Do I know anything about modeling, painting? No. My rendition of painting is taking a model and dipping it in a tub of paint. And like, boom, done. I crushed it.
So bad.
Like, I need Arctic Warriors, dip it in a thing of white paint, done. And I said, no, approach it like you're approaching me. And like, Eli 5, as Reddit says, I'll explain like I'm 5. Like, explain it like I'm an idiot and go through there. And so that's kind of where he's looking at it. I know he's talked about different painting techniques, talked about customizing different miniatures, so you don't have to spend a buttload. I think that's kind of where he wants to go. It's still in the works. It's still kind of hammering out ideas and thoughts. But
and there's a lot of projects going on at the game store. I mean, he's an owner of a business.
Exactly.
So he wants to definitely do it. How much recording we're going to get in, how often he'll release videos. It's going to be up to what's going on at the store, right?
It's all very tentative still. Yeah, exactly. But it's something that he's a passionate about and he wants to do. And so like, okay.
And he's taught me everything I know about painting and modeling. And
exactly.
Phenomenal.
No, he's a great guy. So he'll have that going on. The other kind of stuff we're doing, aren't really sure if it's going to fit in with the game base, of what we're going to do. But me and Jeff, who you'll get to know through D&D, the D&D show that we're doing that we don't really have a name for, we're just calling it the D&D show right now.
Yeah, we should go for that.
Where we have a little Twitch stream that we do. We're both very not single player game players. We despise. We find it incredibly boring. We're very co-op oriented. We're also very competitive people, so we try to play very co-op games. So there's no competition. You'll even see times when a piece of loot drops that is an upgrade for me, but it's just a barely an upgrade for him, but it was actually designated towards him. We'll kind of argue about that a little bit, and eventually we'll just give it up, and just no one really cares. But we're very back and forth like that. So we have a Twitch channel going about co-op games and such, and we're not great at gaming. I wouldn't say so, but we have a lot of fun. We joke around a lot. Jeff's quite funny. I laugh a lot. And so that's going on. We don't know if it's going to fit in with the game base yet or where it's going to fit. But we'll kind of play it by ear and see how it goes and kind of go from there. That's really all we have for channels right now. We're in talks with a few people, maybe talking about a Warhammer type thing or board game type thing or something along those lines, your card games and stuff.
Rock out some Pokemon.
All right, sure.
No,
and no, but the thing is, it's about what the viewers want, right? It's about them.
Yeah, totally.
And so, if that's what the viewers want to have, then we'll add it in, like 100%. Yeah. We will find somebody who knows what they're talking about, who knows what they're doing with Pokemon or with
everything
or any worship me is what you're saying.
Well, no, that would be a little,
a little heretical, but when it comes to anything, someone who maybe knows Warhammer in and out, who knows your different card games, your Magic the Gathering, your Pokemon, whatever. There's tons of card games or even board games, right?
Dice Masters is big right now. Well, kind of. They're fighting for it.
Okay.
Dice Masters.
Yeah, see,
there's so much chance, so much potential.
Yeah, and see, this is stuff that I don't really know about.
Yeah, well,
I know a little bit here and there, but not.
When you work at a game store, yeah, you definitely learn a bit about everything.
Yeah.
A little bit about everything. I said earlier.
Yeah.
A little bit about everything, not a lot about anything.
Exactly. So we're in talks with that, doing a board game show. We don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll kind of do the D&D show for a while, do the DM's Corner, do the modeling show. Me and Jeff will stream a bit, maybe get to know us a bit better that way. And just kind of go from there and then see what viewers want. So why don't we maybe talk about our posting of three videos in our huge hiatus.
Yeah.
I'll start by saying that for the people who have watched the 3 videos, we greatly appreciate it.
And all the feedback.
And the feedback for sure. And the feedback's important. We really appreciate that. But they weren't necessarily going to be that way continuously. It was more a proof of concept. That's how I would say they would be. Proof in terms of, yeah, we can record things. Yeah, we can edit it so it functions as a show. We can chat back and forth. It's figuring those things out, and it's proof of concept, and just kind of seeing how it's received by the viewers, basically. So we did those 3 videos. Then I think right around there is when Christmas came around, so things just got insane for everybody, so we kind of had to stall for a bit. We actually did record, I believe, some more videos. They never ended up going out.
We did do some recording.
Just for a lot of different reasons. And then Andrew started going kind of on a bit of a journey. I don't know if you want to talk about that a bit. Or...
Yeah. Actually, it was back in November, so when we were getting our first few episodes recorded, is when it started. So for those who, nobody really knows me yet. But,
exactly, yeah.
But I'm actually a trained youth pastor. I have a master's degree in Christian studies, and I was a youth pastor for 4 years. And then some things went south a bit, and I ended up at a game store. I already loved gaming, so it wasn't that much of a leap. However, after being at the game store now it'll be 2 years this next month that I've been at the game store at Warcraft Games. But in November, I had a church call me, a church in Alberta. And they called and asked if I was interested in a position as a youth pastor there. And I said, yeah, well, let's explore that. And so I sort of started going through that process. So when January rolled around, I was in the midst of interviews. They were talking about flying me out to meet them, do some in-person interviews in Alberta. And then so in February, they flew me out. They met me. Apparently, they liked me. I'm not sure why, but, whatever.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I actually sent a double. It's a lot more personable.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. They liked me, and so they called me back with my family for what's called a candidating weekend. And it's like 4 days of crazy, where you just meet 100,000 people. Not really. It's a church of 100. So you meet all 100 people.
Yeah. And
they all tell you their names, and they expect you to remember it. It's incredible. And then at the end of it, they vote. Whether to hire you or not, and the whole congregation gets a say, and they chose to hire me. So they've hired me and I've taken the job.
Yeah.
So we've been on this hiatus because this whole time we haven't known up until 3 weeks ago whether I was gonna be leaving us or not, and we didn't want to put up and start something that then all of a sudden I leave in the middle of and leave a void. Better to have the team in place.
Yeah.
For a longer term.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of why we've been on this hiatus mostly. We started some stuff and then we went, let's find out where this is going with this stuff in Alberta.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to have me walk out of this thing and then all of a sudden it just drops.
Exactly. And you were kind of I wouldn't say a linchpin, but you're a pretty important part of our D&D channel, being the DM, right?
A dungeon master's
it's a
pretty important role.
Exactly, right? And so, we sat down one day and Andrew's like, come on, we gotta go record. I'm like, no, I would love to. I think it'd be fantastic. But going forward with a story, getting to know these characters, have, the viewers really maybe get involved or invested in it, and all of a sudden you disappear and the story changes and a new DM comes in, a new personality, new style, right? And it's just, it made more sense to leave, the 3 videos as what they are, as a proof of concept. It does work. Now, that's not saying that we didn't want Andrew around. Obviously we did. Deep down,
very deep, yeah.
deep down, we're excited for him. And it's just a channel. It hasn't really started. Nothing's really come of it yet. But I still, I wanted him to stay, obviously, but in the same sense, I wanted him to go. It's better for him. But I've
got a family. And
no, exactly.
It's kind of a career.
It's pretty important.
It's kind of what I believe I'm called to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to pull in too much religious stuff there, but I think
there
might be a God aspect.
There'll be some God action going on.
Might be a little bit.
100%, and that's fine, right? And and that's something that some of the core members here, me, Andrew, Matt, Jeff, and Mike kind of sat down, not all together at different times, and discussed and realized, it's more important that we stop now, let Andrew focus on Andrew for a bit, and then whatever happens, right? And that's not to mean that you're not going to be involved still, right?
I'll be involved.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be involved.
So he'll kind of do, we might do a podcast thing where me and him chat about different topics, whether it be something that is cool that week or something that we find interesting, or it's something that you as viewers want us to talk about or just mention, or what have you, right? And so it's not going to be like, see you later, Andrew, bye forever, and he's just gone, right? So he'll still be involved in the channel and forever. I think he'll still be involved.
We're definitely still going to be involved. And he, as the DM, I sort of ran a position of keeping everything organized for the game. But really, Josh has been our linchpin. He's gone to everyone who's involved so far, kept in touch with them, said, hey, here's what we're thinking. What do you think? Getting opinions, getting feedback. And I mean, the only reason I think the game base is where we're at this point is because Josh really put a lot into it.
Appreciate
so
that.
I think with even with me leaving, despite the fact that I'm basically the heart and soul of everything.
Basically the greatest thing in existence.
Basically,
yes, continue.
Yeah. I don't know why they would hire me. I have so much pride issues.
My ego's so strong.
It's huge. Yeah. My head fills the entire church sanctuary. I think this could really go somewhere, and I'm pretty excited for it. I think this is a good way to go. The challenge now is we had a team for D&D, and now we're kind of scattered. And big thing, we don't have a team leader for the D&D. We don't have the DM.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
So we're really fighting to bring up a new cast, get some people who have like-minded approach to what we're doing here,
and want to be involved, right? And that's the biggest thing is, it's fun to do. Yeah, it's a hobby, but deep down, it's kind of a passion project for me and Andrew, and we want people who are passionate about what we do, right? About what we want to create with information, with entertainment. But, at the core, it's having fun, right? So it's about people who just want to enjoy themselves. And
a big challenge is going to be finding that DM, unless you're going to step up. No. Finding that DM who's going to be able to really foster that in a video. And I don't know if I could have done it, or if I was going to do it, or if I did it in those first 3 episodes, but we at least understood where we were both going. And now we have to find somebody and buy them into that concept and have them be able to do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's kind of where we're at right now too with the channel itself. Matt's kind of starting to go with his modeling thing. Me and Jeff have started with our Twitch stuff, but our our linchpin to our channel, I would say, our D&D segment is kind of at a standstill right now. We got, we had some players come and leave. Most people are still there. We have, I'm still playing. Jeffrey is still playing. Jeff, he's still there.
Yeah.
Matt's still there.
We'll see.
Oh,
I know you say Matt's still there, but I mean, there's a lot going on at the store right now, and having time to record. Wait and see.
Yeah. He seemed. I chatted with him the other day, though. He seemed pretty positive about it. But we'll see, right? And
well, that's just it. And the first episode I ever recorded was actually without you, when we had it all set up in the bedroom there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have got some pictures of that. That was brutal.
I saw the footage. Don't worry.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. Still got it.
That was actually the first one I recorded, though, was with Marcus. And then, now he's not in it.
That's right, yeah.
But Marcus and I did character creation. How to make a character. That was the first thing we recorded. I don't think I ever gave you that footage.
No.
Good.
Didn't even know it even happened. Yeah.
Not gonna let you have that.
Yeah.
It is crap.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Marcus is great. But no, the quality of the sound is just terrible. But, and that's just the reality of it. I mean, we've tried a couple different approaches so far, and nothing is really... We're getting there, though. We've improved. I think we're making steps forward. It's going to be a matter of where we're going to... We're going to be in... I mean, where we were a year and a half ago when we first came up with this idea, and where we are now...
Leaps and bounds.
And where we're going to be in 3 months, 4 months...
Who knows, right?
Whole nother place, right?
Exactly. And it's about people who want to be involved. If we get somebody who knows... even really about lighting. We'll say, for example, just really, really knows lighting, how it works, how it functions, what we need, what we don't need. Get them to come in,
that whole
discuss.
Thing can change, yeah.
Right? It can all change. Our next videos or our new videos that we're going to do, it is a big jump up, mostly from the weird, dark, funky, dungeony lighting that we had to proper... Bright, I can actually see what's going on lighting, right? And
and wide. So you're not just seeing the DM on a spotlight. You get the whole
you actually
room.
Yeah, you actually see everybody, which is important, right?
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks very nice. So
saw some first goes at it.
Yeah, so that's fantastic, and we're playing it by ear. We want this D&D thing to happen. It's just a matter of figuring out players, figuring out the biggest thing right now is getting a DM. Yeah. Getting a DM. And it might go to the point where we're both out of people that we know and might just have to do like an open casting call essentially and just sit.
I hope not.
I hope not either, but just sit down and talk with people, right? And if people are passionate about it and really want to do it and are comfortable, the biggest thing is being comfortable doing it, right? And pulling that person in and so we'll see what happens, and we'll kind of play it by ear. But I think that's about all I have on my docket to chat about. Is there anything you kind of want to chat about, or?
No, I'm just good. Filling in our viewers. I think we have 45 likes on Facebook, so our 45 viewers.
There you go. Well, might have more on YouTube. Who knows?
But the secret admirers.
Yeah.
Letting our people that are into our channel so far in on what's going on.
Yep.
Because I think that was my big goal tonight was getting everybody on page with why we've been quiet for
a long period of time. Yeah, and it has been really quiet. And
we're trying to be a startup, get our thing going, and here we go. We're gonna make a channel, and we're not gonna do anything for 3 months.
And that's what's going to happen is we sat down. I remember saying that at the start is we're not going to record or post anything until we're 100% ready and we're posting consecutively. Post 3 videos and it just stops instantaneously. But that
was largely my fault. I mean, I got this job opportunity and I sort of went, okay,
But that's life. But it was also our decision not to record anymore, right?
Yeah.
That was as a group our decision, and it's not something that I'm concerned about. But yeah, this whole kind of podcast / video / whatever this is going to end up being in the end really was just meant to inform everyone of what's going on. Obviously, if you have
done that.
Questions, comments, concerns, you can obviously post anything on Facebook. Andrew will answer it. He's the social media guy. And
then I'll block your posts because I don't really like interaction with human beings.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's functional.
That's why I'm in charge of media.
Just so you can hate on people?
Just stonewall.
Just stonewall them, for sure.
No, I'm kidding. Please post up anything, any questions, any thoughts. We wanna get.
Yeah, and if you have ideas for shows that you would really like to see, if you get enough interest in it, maybe that's something we'll look towards as well. And I think that's really about it. Our podcast is, we don't really have any kind of set times, dates, anything for what we're kind of doing here, but
I'm gonna do what I want with my podcast.
That's exactly it. Andrew's moved away, but we're still gonna do a podcast with him. I think me and Andrew are gonna be kind of the main people with the podcast.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And we'll just kind of chat. Sometimes there'll be information about the game base, which is always fascinating. It's always what I like when I'm watching a YouTube channel is watch like this behind the scenes information. I'm like, yes, what is going on? Like, oh, they're real people, right? And
well, I don't really have a life, so I like to live vicariously through others.
Okay, there you go.
So whenever I get a chance to be like, oh, that's what a YouTuber does.
Yeah,
in his day-to-day life, I'm like, that's sweet. I'm gonna live through that guy.
Yeah, and
it's great.
And it's interesting, and
it's hard living through like the girl YouTubers because I'm not a girl. But is that weird?
Anyway, yeah, so we'll just ignore that completely. Hopefully we'll maybe have Matt on for one, just talk about what he wants to do with his modeling channel, or when it's kind of ready to go, we'll have Matt do a podcast and we'll chat about him and really
even post up some modeling. That would be good.
Exactly, and pick his brain about what he really wants to do. We'll have Jeff around, people around. We'll kind of figure it out from there. But yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for tuning in, guys, to TGB Podcast. We really appreciate it. Appreciate all your support, as Andrew said, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
I absolutely agree. I'm going to close my notebook of notes.
Sounds great.
Pokemon channel. It's going to be a thing.
Record. I'm pretty sure.